And we are live directly for another warm-up show with the Hockey Coach, your local franchise directly for the Sunshine State in Florida. And we have to go all the way to find a co-host for the warm-up show, Mr. ENORTAP from Ontario.
Hello, Coach. What a day, what a day, what a day, what a day.
It's Monday, March 21st. This is the end of the trade deadline. It is concluded now in NHL. So many trade. Honestly, I did not look all the trade, the number. I did not do any stat. The only thing I did, I eat and I took a nap about 20 minutes. It's called a power super nap. It's not a big one, but it was good enough to take some rest. Ready to rock and roll for another 5 hours tonight, Mr. ENORTAP. But I'm sure we have a lot of things to talk about. A lot of fans are excited what's happening around the league. A lot of trade left and right. More what I was expected, to be honest with you. And still when we are done at 4 o'clock, you have more trade are done. But because the problem is the salary cap, and the player have to be under, the team has to be under salary cap. They have to make some adjustment everything like that with the NHL. That's what an example like Raquel trade, everybody like that. They have to wait after 4:30, everything like that. Surprised about what the Rangers got in return. Winnipeg got in return for Andrew Copp. A lot of surprise. It's fun league, but I think you have a lot of good winner. But I think some did not do well overall. And some was quiet. I was expect something was step up more. And never heard about this. I think the buyer was more impressed by what they got in return, more what my expectations. Some got first round pick, second round pick, 3+ for 1. So a lot of action. We're going to talk about this. We have a few people already in the house. Welcome everybody. Thanks for joining us. Some are with me since like 12 o'clock today. Mr. and Mr. Kelly back in the house.
Welcome, Kelly.
I can't wait to hear some comments about the fans. Mr. Nooner lost his emoji, but is back with a wave. Hi, Mr. Nooner.
Hello, Nooner.
Yan. Gianni in the house.
Welcome, Yan.
And Mr. Richard Mullen, welcome back. Thanks for joining us, Mr. Richard Mullen, directly for the Little Perro.
Richard, how are you?
The DIXON Automobile Group, Dan Ogilvy was with us at some point during the day. Welcome back, Mr. DIXON.
Welcome, Dixon.
From Finland, did a great job like in our tabs during the afternoon with all the update. Mr. Jamo Vartanen.
Hey, Jamo, welcome.
And we have to remind everybody about the fact we want to thank in our tap Mr. Michael DeVillano and Andrew Lepage for their participation. Last night was an amazing, great show, but also today for the trade deadline. A lot of, you can go online, find a lot of places you can get trade deadline, and you can go on TV and, TSN, Sportnet, RDS, NHL Network, and ESPN, and whatever they are. But still, we did it, and we have a lot of great people around here, so it was great to talk about everything happened. So thanks for all the update for the insider and all the comments about what happening during the day. And we have Mr. Alexis the Scout Dubuc in the house.
Welcome, Alexis.
We're going to get Alexis Dubuc, Mr. ENORTAP, during the week. At some point, we're going to invite him, not the night, but maybe at some point, we're going to get him talking about hockey. So I can't wait to have Alexis. I know he's busy, but we want to get the right show for him, talking about maybe his friend players around the league, everything like that. Jamo Dixon, no. Round with Kings 20 in the house.
Hey, Ron, welcome.
Mark Zuck, welcome back. Thanks for joining us.
Welcome, Mike.
I'm sad about Likonen, Mark Zuck, about that. I can understand your point of view, but I'm excited about what they got for sure.
Absolutely.
Il fallait échanger Montembeault. Unfortunately, nobody won Montembeault, Ian. That's the reason they did not trade Montembeault, and they got Hyman in return. Allen and Swayman confirmed for tonight. Yamo, great to hear that because all my goaltenders are all orange tonight. I did not, but nobody start for me tonight. Icinata was also busy on ESPN Fantasy. Nona on a tap, amazing job, my friend. Nona, Danny, José Duarte. José Duarte, and back in the house.
Thank you, José. Welcome.
And je peux comprendre. Did Toronto make any more trade? No. Exactly. No. They don't trade anytime after you left the building, Mr. Dixon. About that. I think we did the round the table already. Don't forget, guys, to click on the likes. That'd be awesome. Thanks for joining us. Mr. ENORTAP, first question directly from Mr. ALEXANDRE. But before we start this, all right, let's go. Let's do it.
Okay.
Mr. ENORTAP, go with Iliam Leginson. Whoop. Fortunately, we came to catch up everything back from where we are at the beginning of the show. Yes.
What's the question?
I thought you want to talk to me. You said something before that. The question was William Leginson, the defenseman for the Montreal got in return for Brent
Kulak deal. Yeah, it was. I mean, just a couple of days ago, we were saying if we can get a third for Kulak, that would be great, and we'd go for it. The fact that we got Leginson, he himself is a third. I believe he was drafted in the third round. He's a big boy. He's really security. I mean, he isn't an all-star by any stretch. I think he was picked up more for helping the Laval team. The key there was the fact that we picked up a second-round pick in 2023, which is a great year for the draft. So I think the return for Kulak was very good. Again, he's another one that you hate to see go, but I think our return exceeds that. And what I was going to say, Coach, I just wanted to say congratulations on a job well done today. I thought that Andrew, yourself, and Michael really covered it really well, and the people in the chat were all helping out. It was fun.
It was great. The comments was great for people. It was follow up the trade. It was like, I don't want to forget, but like Francois Pitt would be the comment about the trade, and someone was under the trade. It was, Jose or Kelly or, like a deal like this, not only one specific team, it's all the team. And you can see we have Nam, I believe his name, from the guy from Vancouver. We have Roland was in the chat, Roger Delaney, Johnny was in the chat. So you have a lots of fun team. Steve G talk about Colorado at some point. So Eagle was for the Tampa Bay. So we have a lot of fun participation with fun people about their team. So I think that's the beauty of that trade deadline. Everybody can make some comments, everything like that. I think it was fun about that. Talking about comments, Joseph LANHAM back in the house.
And I don't know about you, Coach, but those 4 hours just flew by.
Yeah. Honestly, it was flying very well. It was good. Maybe one part of the show where it was no trade. Like I think some points, I think it was more busy. I said everybody, don't worry, when we get that 2:15 and you're going to, and you can see it was flying after that more, but honestly, it was good. The reason you got a goaltender, Joseph, with Hammond is because you guys, the Devils, you have a lot of great doctor, and the nurse is good over there, and you can accept many goaltender. They are a little bit hurt. So that's why you got Hammond in return. So that'd be the reason why you got that one over there. And enjoy for the rest. The Hamburglar now is going to start another McDonald's over there. Mr. Moy, Alexis Moy, le meilleur, c'est Justin Barron. He's a good defenseman for sure.
Justin Barron, yes.
About that.
Amazing.
José Duarte said Biagra to Coyotes. About this. A minor trade between the Bulls and the San Jose Sharks is found by Yamo about that. Um, and then Dixon said the new trade Arizona trade the leave goalie back to for the first the first pick drive. The Arizona still on the claim on the waiver to the new goaltender from Finland. So he never been about that one there. He said, Ron asked a question to you. Are you surprised another did not make a move or did I miss it?
No, I don't think they did anything specific. I thought maybe they might address either Varlamov or perhaps even Clutterbug and Mayfield. I thought as well could have been in play, but you know what? I don't think that they were. I think they're sort of throwing this year out the window, thinking um, there were a lot of things that happened that went down south this year, and it really affected us. And we're not as bad as the record indicates. So they're going to wait probably an extra year and see how it goes. Maybe they might make some moves in the off season to try to strengthen the team or change a couple players, but I don't anticipate anything big.
First of all, they don't have a lot of UFA.
Right.
Secondly, the one they have, they signed them today. So they signed Clodenbach for 2 years and Parise for 1 year.
Yes.
All right, so they have a few like like Shara, everything like that. But the one they believe they can stay with the team, they go that direction. Thirdly, Lamariello is not a big busy guy on the trade deadline. He's more focused on the trade or the draft, everything like that. During off summer, that's really where he believe he get more. So surprised a little bit, yes, but like shocked, no. A little bit surprised, but not much about that one over there. Which team surprised you the most today with inaction?
With their inaction?
Yeah.
I don't know. Personally, Richard, I thought Carolina should have done a little bit more. I know at the end they picked up Domi, but I just thought the teams around them did a lot more than they did, and I thought that they would respond accordingly. I still think, even though they're a deep team, I don't know. Two things I doubt with them. Number one, do they have enough secondary scoring? Um, and number two, we'll wait and see. Will their goaltending situation stay as great as it has been all year? I mean, there's a reason why Anderson landed in Carolina, at least according to Dubas. We'll see who's right at the end of the day.
New Jersey Devils.
Yeah,
They don't make any big change about that. It was very quiet
but they're
around.
big contracts. Like,
But that
it was
was
hard to
maybe like
move.
Subban or
Yeah,
a couple of UFA. Many people was talking about Stevenson. Many trade with Vancouver for Connor Garland. Yeah, their name was a lot mentioned left and right during the last couple of days, and they don't make a lot of big trade to see something over there about that. So the goaltender situation, I know they got Hammond, everything, but what I'm talking about is like something to improve
yeah,
the team. I
yeah,
don't see that. They don't trade for get picks. They don't make something like that. So for me, in action, honestly, I thought Devils was really where I believe there was not too
yeah.
much about that.
I think Vancouver was kind of quiet as well. They did some minor things, but nothing really spectacular. Um, but they're not in a playoff position, so I didn't really anticipate them as much. But everybody else, I think, kind of stepped up and did something to
Justin
make their
Barron's,
team better.
who do you believe, who do you compare Justin Barron?
Uh, I've just seen a little bit of videotape of Justin Barons, and I've got to say, first of all, he's I think 6'2", 6'3", a right-handed defenseman, which we're in dire need of. This guy can quarterback our power play in the future. He has that potential. He's reunited. Apparently, he played together with Gooley, so that'll be familiarity with the two of them. But more importantly, the little bit of video that I saw of him, this guy is a great, great skater. He's smooth, he's fast. And I was telling Coach earlier, and maybe it's a bit of a stretch. I definitely claim that, but his skating, just the skating, kind of reminds me of Makar.
Here, what you look like for me. He has the skate of Samuel Girard, and he has the body of Devon Tays.
That's a good one.
That's exactly what he looked like. So he skate very well, right? Like Samuel Girard moved the puck, he moved very fast. But he have the body like Devon Tays. He shot like Devon Tays. So for me, that's what the kind of the defenseman you get. Number 3 could become exactly like number 2, exactly what Caden Cooley is about that one over there. So great asset for the Montreal Canadiens to get that one over there. The Ab are such a generous team. I have to think Kulak will be very good for Edmonton, and thank you very much.
I don't know if they're generous. I mean, they paid up.
They paid for the second round pick, honestly, Sredsik. Kulak is going to be a number 4, number 5, normally in the NHL. Now, it could be a number 4 in Edmonton because the left side is not other effect Nurse. After that, you drop a big jump between if they can push back Duncan Keith, number 5 or 6, and they put Kulak between Nurse and Keith, I think you get one over there. You can get Kulak more on the PK as or the power play. So for Kulak, for the Edmonton, they get someone better there. Now, Largenson for them is nothing there for them, and they have also Brober and another players over there. So for them, I think, but they pay a big price, a strategic for a second round pick. But at the time of the season, of the year, that's what you get. But Montreal get the second one. Then on that second pick, you have another team involved with that. You have some concern about, I read this earlier, but
Duncan Keith
about that one there. Danny T, welcome back. Thanks, Danny T, also for super chat. Well, no, super chat, like a member, I don't know. I see something other I cannot remember about that First one period. Over there. Everybody look at each other. Yan is going to eat. Ensemble. It looks like everybody's talking each other. Run with King signed Lizotte for 2 more years.
Yeah. He did.
Pierre Martin said, I like the Montreal pick up a mature young prospect. I agree with you about that one there. Trade the Seattle Kraken got forward Victor Rask from the Minnesota in exchange for future consideration. Okay. I know for that, this is only for salary cap.
That's what I'm
that's it, and nothing else.
There's not much there.
Pierre Martin, yes, Hamilton. I think Coach went for a nap. I forgot to put an alarm on. I was close, but I wake up at the right time about that one over there. Je compare Baron and Alexis Pietrangelo. Not really, Alexis. Pietrangelo is a super elite defenseman, a number 1 defenseman. It's not what Justin Barron is, Alexis, about that one over there. Do you see any of the trade done today hurting a team more to help? I don't know how I said that. The only thing I would say, Ron, for all the team got a trade and everybody is excited because Giroux is at the Panthers and now you have LANHAM in Boston and now you got Lekonen in Colorado, and you got Fleury in Minnesota, everything like that. The sadness about it, only one team made the win the Stanley Cup.
Right. So at the end of the day, all these trades will look not as impressive, right? For the ones that don't win.
Money Wood said, I'm very happy with all the days trade for Montreal. The only trade I'm unhappy about is the Hammond deal, if ever that may be good in the long run. Solar, honestly, Hammond is not a goaltender for Montreal, so it's not a matter. You have Carey Price, you have also Jake Allen, and then you have Samuel Montembeau before you get Hammond. Hammond have no room over there. You get a young man, a big guy, 6'3" center. He's going to play good for Laval, and you never know if you need him. I believe he could become better at Rand Poland in ENORTAP.
Yeah.
So I think in return about
I'm
this.
surprised. You know what? I'm surprised that the Leafs didn't take a shot at Hammond. I mean, it's at least comparable to what they have, and probably a slight bit improvement. But
Pierre Martin have a good question. I think Chicago last out on this day.
Well, it depends on your perspective, right? It starts with the big trade they did on, was it Friday? I guess I forget now. I lose track. Saturday. But they look at their return. They did get 2 firsts and I believe a second and a couple of other players which were not really.
Plus you got Fleury today. In the second round or first round, and Fleury they got him for nothing. I think that's pretty good. I think the Brendan Agel, because he's the people like him, they are disappointed, but he got a lot of things in return.
Yeah, I mean, and really, we like Hagel, but it's 1 year, right? Let's see him do it continuously.
Can use is pretty good, Alexis. Not ingénieux encore parce que les tomates vont revenir sur le perron à un moment donné, là, mais he did a good job overall. Coach, will trade affect our score prediction?
Well, trades affect our score predictions in where?
For me, it's no matter because everybody was so bad yesterday. So I think we'll be helping us to get those trades. In fact, they are not on the bottom tonight. It was not affected. I think it was better to skip Sunday yesterday for everybody. And to be honest with you, other fact, Richard Molin have 3 good pick yesterday on 6. Just give you an idea how we was not very good about that. Talking about prediction, Mr. ENORTAP, we have a Friday night. I have to go back all the way to Friday night to figure out. And Poutine, that's not here, was 5-1 Poutine Friday night. Right, Kelly, Danny, Eagle, and Richard Molin, and around Kings 20, Joseph, and Rosie, Michael Rosenblatt, 4-2, Coach ENORTAP. And many of us, we are 3-3. Nobody have the score. Remember, Friday night was really low score, 1-0, 3-1. Everybody was over that night. And then the right score was Richard Molin and a run with Kings again with Coach with 1. And then Fantasy, it was Richard Molin. Saturday, everybody was looking great. Like an expert. Saturday, we get a lot. 9-3. Someone got 9 and 9. Yamo got very well Saturday. He was the first one. The other day I did well. I got the goal straight at 70 Saturday, and I skipped Sunday. So that's happening about that one over there. So we have to move on about this. Pierre Martin said Hammers Lingholm helped Boston. I agree with you about that one over there. I hope so. The prospect helped Laval because the thing examined was winning us and we have enough full roster. But I can understand your point of view, Salah. But I think overall it'll be fine. When did the Raquel trade happen? What is after the trade deadline? Yes.
I think it was like with 10 minutes to go.
Yes, so it was complete after they make all the salary cap purpose return of that. What I can call in my head, it was Simon, Reyes, and a second round pick, I believe, someone else, a prospect also.
Yeah, the prospect, I don't know. The second for sure.
But that's what I heard about that one over there. Romanov is strong on the park and it is getting easy for him. Pourquoi les tomates sur le perron? Parce qu'à un moment donné, Alexis, au Québec, quand on fait une erreur, on est prêt à les mettre vraiment négatifs. Donc, à un moment donné, il va faire une erreur, puis les gens vont être vraiment négatifs alentour de lui. Donc, il faut profiter de ce qui se passe. I agree with you guys about my Chicago comments. No problem, Pierre Martin. That's why ENORTAP is here. ENORTAP, that's like Robin in my face about Amen. Danny T said about that.
No. I agree with you, Danny. It's not rubbing it in
I
the face.
definitely Toronto should have Hammond in our top. I don't understand why he missed this guy. I think there would be so much good for Toronto to get Hammond. I don't know, Danny, what's happening with honestly with Hammond about that. Tampa won the trade with Ottawa for Nick Paul.
Yeah, I mean, I would probably agree with that, but I think it serves both teams well.
I think the people will love Matthew Joseph.
Yeah, that's why I think the change of scenery for both will suit them well, and both teams will benefit from that particular trade.
Yamo said, I think Josh Brown to stay a strong stay at home. I think he talked about the Boston Bruins.
Yeah.
About that. Busy time of the year for landscaper like me. I couldn't be here Friday. Not a problem, Pierre. It's all good. You can email me if you want to next time. Email me at coach@coachfrenchy.com. I can do that. Bergeron again out. Jack Stanika is first line center today. Is news is correct. Renault, Canadien
Yes.
CH should offer Remy same deal as a KK. I don't know. Maybe
Not
KK.
yet.
Do you believe? Do you believe now KK will be healthy scratch now? Max Domi's coming.
No, 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 no. Not for 8 years at what was it, 4.8 million,
$5 million. I don't say
basically.
4.8 anymore. I say $5 million.
Yeah, but you see, it's all about perspective. Carolina's thinking, hey, this year we paid 6 million, so we're saving.
Pierre Martin said Florida Colorado Cup playoff possible.
Oh, that'll be yeah. There's so many good teams, so
Toronto
many.
may have choked today in regards to trade. I don't know what it looked like in Toronto, but I'm sure to best it don't get a lot of positivity of the fans in Toronto right now.
Well, I don't know who it was on. I think it was on Sports Center. They were broadcasting, and I don't know which announcer it was or which analyzer, but he ripped a page off of Dubas for being inactive and especially not going after a goalie. And then you could see in the press conference that Dubas had afterwards, which I thought was not right either. He basically let out that there was a deal done for, or at least in principle, was done for Fleury to come to Toronto, but it got leaked out. Details got leaked out to the public, and as a result, I think Fleury may have vetoed it, and he's blaming the GM Davidson for initiating that. How true it is, who knows? But I just thought, I don't know if I would have said that publicly like he did, but it creates a bad environment for those two
Sometimes
teams.
for the gym it's hard because some team makes some team as some trade and it did not work yourself. Like like you see a goaltender go from someone else and then you never heard about this and then you miss the boat right there. But the people thought, hey, why you did not get that guy? You just get traded to Chicago, right? Why not you
Yeah,
get that guy
yeah,
in? That sometimes reflect on the GM. It didn't make any move, and that's hard sometimes. So, but I can understand about that. Not a problem. Pierre Martin, I understand that's not a problem. Mr. Norta, we're going to jump right away, 6:30, and we have a game at 7 o'clock. But I want you to do your
okay.
own face-off, drop the puck. No presentation. You go straight right
Well,
there and drop the puck if you don't mind right now. Whoop, not that one.
yeah, no, no. Well, again, coaches, I'm not going to spend a lot of time here because I want to go over our scores for tonight and allow the chat to put theirs up as well. It's just I think from a possibility of this being a quiet day because a lot of other side deals were done earlier in the week. It did turn out to be relatively busy. I mean, probably not one of the busiest they've ever had trade deadline, but it definitely was busy. I really enjoyed seeing how teams improve themselves. I think like you take a team like Minnesota, they've improved themselves in toughness. on defense, and definitely in net. Other teams like Tampa Bay did their usual, where they picked up a very sneaky pick and improved their chances. Florida, what can we say? I mean, Giroux, Sherratt, who else did they have in there? Hagman, from Buffalo.
Robert Hag.
Hag. Yeah, I mean, he's only like a fifth, sixth defenseman, but he will help out for sure. Especially now that you know Eklund or Ekblad
Ekblad.
will be on the sidelines for a little while until the playoffs start. Um, Carolina and the Rangers very late in the game they came in and improved their situation. So um, good pickups too. I thought that they were very good, sneaky picks. I just thought Carolina would have done a little bit more, but still okay. Pittsburgh, same thing. Um, we had anticipated maybe a return of of Kessel there, but it didn't materialize. Um, they had other things going, but Colorado. Who else? I mean, Dallas had done a one or two things. So it all sets up for a great playoff series. I don't think we're going to see an easy round anywhere. I don't think we're going to see any easy four nothing victories in the playoffs. We're going to see some hard fought battles, and whoever wins the cup this year, they're going to earn it.
Will be interesting to see that, right? Some people, many of them move, and some major, not. But I think the last one, like Coop and Winnipeg for Rangers, and they don't give a lot in return.
Yeah,
For me, it was surprised me. But the Rangers picked up a couple of players where they would be good for them. It did not destroy the core of who they are. So for me, I
that's
think it
right.
was great to see that. So, yep, I think it's something we will be reevaluate. Again, I still have no time to evaluate all the trade right now. But when I have a time to sit after the game tonight or tomorrow morning, I'm
Yeah,
going to
I
make a
mean,
video.
maybe the lack of return for Cop has to do more with the fact that they weren't able to extend him, and so they figured that they would lose him as a free agent at the end of the year.
Richard said, and I want to finish with this. Richard said, Domi, do you believe Domi would be a problem in the locker room in Carolina? Renaud said, no, Renaud
No,
will
no.
fix anything anyway.
Yeah, absolutely. No, and I mean, he's not a problem at all. I think he's a very intense player and very good skater, opportunistic with his chances. His time in Montreal was very good until that towards the very end when they traded him. But um, he had his best year here actually.
Exactly right, Mr. ENORTAP. Let's move on to the next thing, 5:36, so we can have a little bit more time. Let's move on with the full game we have on the program tonight. And
Sure,
we don't have a who are they because they are all tired
that's
today.
okay. We'll keep that for another
And my
time,
eight
right?
goaltender are not, I have no clue. I just put them on their on their orange today.
Yeah, I have Swayman and possibly Monty starting tonight, but it's not confirmed yet. Um, okay, with this game, Montreal begins the second half of a six-game homestand when they host their rival Boston Bruins for actually the first visit of the season. Hard to believe at this stage when we're almost at the end. Montreal will look to sort of build on that very impressive 5-1 victory over Ottawa from Saturday night. The Habs are 9-3-2 in their last 14 games and have been held to fewer than 3 goals only once in that stretch since February 17th. We saw Allen come in and played a great game. I think he earned first star status in that particular game. Um, he's definitely. I know there was a lot of talk today about the possibility that he could have been part of that Kulak trade to Edmonton, and I think they were entertaining it, which would have made it a real blockbuster trade, but I think in the end, Edmonton sort of backed out from that. Um, the Bruins, they bounced back from a 4-2 loss in Minnesota by beating Winnipeg by a same score on Friday night. They improved to 11-2-1 in their last 14 games, and they lead the wild card race while moving within reach of at least two of the Atlantic Division leaders there, or teams that are in that division. Uh, Bergeron I know somebody had mentioned that earlier. He is going to be missing his third straight game with that upper body injury. He's slated to be reevaluated later in the week. Let's hope that this isn't something too serious, because they really need his presence in that lineup, especially as they get into the playoff time. A newly acquired defenseman Hampus Lindholm, a first-round pick by Anaheim, likely will be available by Thursday. So we'll look forward to seeing him in action when that happens. He also got an extension over the weekend, so they're, I think it was 8 years. So that's a great contract for them. It's a great contract for him as well. The Bruins won the two meetings with the Canadiens in Boston by a combined score of 10-3, but of course that was a different time of the year under a different coach. I don't think the scores will be that lopsided here. I think Boston scores an empty netter at the end and wins this one 4-2, Coach.
Here we go.
Okay, next we have Vegas and Minnesota. Well, it's going to be a great game here, boy. I'm looking forward to this one. With a franchise record, 5 straight regulation losses, finally in their rear view mirror, the Vegas Golden Knights will begin a key 3 games and 4-night stretch starting tonight against the Wild. The Wild they've come out strong as well in their last couple of games. We'll see what happens here. Vegas is currently in 4th place in the Pacific, 2 points behind Edmonton, and they're clinging to the final Western Conference wildcard spot currently. Following Monday's game, they visit, who was it? I think on Tuesday tomorrow they visit Winnipeg, and before returning home Thursday, and they host I can't remember offhand. I think it's Nashville, if I'm not mistaken. The Minnesota Wild, I think they're ecstatic with some of the moves that they've made over the last couple of days in terms of their addressing some of the key areas that were weaknesses in their lineup. I personally think they did a great job of that as well. They're going to be playing the 4th of 9 consecutive home games. The homestand started poorly with that 6-2 loss to Nashville, but they rebounded quickly with back-to-back wins against Boston and Chicago. Again, the players that are supposed to be scoring on that team continue to do so. I'm glad actually to see Hartman starting to pick it up again, because he came out of the gates very quickly this year and looked great, and then he went into a bit of a slump, and now he's sort of redeemed himself again. I look forward to seeing how this team reacts and with their changes. It might be obviously a couple games before we see all of their players come into the picture, but I'm going to take Minnesota to win this one by a score of 4-3.
All right. Well, we want to welcome Mr. Dwight in the house. I think the first time, give us some score. That'd be great. And Mr.
Hey.
Mr. Nerfect, I need your score between Minnesota, if you don't mind. That'd be great.
Welcome, welcome, Dwight. Um, Next, we have Edmonton and Colorado. Have Smith and Kumper starting. Like things were looking a little bit dire for the Oilers about a couple of weeks ago, if you recall. It looked like they were definitely at that time on the outside looking in terms of playoffs, but the offense has woken up, and I think it all stems from the fact that their defense has tightened up, and they haven't fallen behind. That's really their Achilles heel right there. When Edmonton falls behind, they have a hard time getting their style of play going, and they end up losing a lot of games. But when they take the lead, their record is quite impressive. Now they're riding a 5 game winning streak. They're going to be visiting tonight Colorado in a key matchup. The Oilers are averaging almost 5.5, 5.4 goals over the last 5 games, and 3 times have scored 6 or more. So things can look even more different when the puck drops. With terms of what's happened, it turns out that Colorado really, I mean, they made a couple of minor moves. Well, one wasn't minor, but the other one was. So they solidified themselves with the Lehkonen move. The Avalanche have made a couple of moves, but uh, you know, I think here um, they're still a favorite in my eyes throughout the entire league. Uh, I think they have quite a bit of depth. I think their defense is solid. Their goaltending is. I'm not going to say it's great, but it's very good. I think Kumper has held up all year when we feared that he might be very injury prone, but he stood up. Makar is having a fantastic year, and as are some of the offensive players like you know Kadri and McKinnon and Rantanen, and right now they have Landeskog out of the lineup, so uh, that'll be quite a nice addition when he gets back to help him out. I think Colorado is at home. They're going to win this game. I'm going to go with a score of 4-2.
Danny, can you give me back the game Colorado Edmonton? I think I did not get your score, if you don't mind, Danny.
And our last game of the evening is Nashville and Anaheim. Looks like it's Saros and Gibson going at it. Gibson, I'm a bit surprised that he's still with Anaheim tonight. I really thought there would be a move for him, especially since they declared that if the offer was right, they were willing to move him. Um, Nashville's offense has been on fire. They've they've gone 6-2-0 over their last 8 games, outscoring their opponents almost double, 38-20. The latest victory came Saturday when 6 different Predators played that played had multi-point performances in that 6-3 win over Toronto. Now, of course, at the helm of it all is Roman Josi. He also made some history, joining Bobby Orr as the only defenseman in the NHL history to tally at least 3 points over 4 consecutive games. Now, Orr's 3 point streak extended to 6 games. He did it back in 1970-71. So Yossi has something to aspire to as well if he can get it done a couple more times, at least to tie him. His 3 assists on Saturday, which was his 3rd consecutive game with the 3 helpers, gave him 22 points over a 9 game point streak. And he's really, in my eyes, catapulted himself into the conversation for the Norris Trophy at the end of the year. Um, the The Ducks are on a season high 6-game winless streak, a drought which includes their last meeting with the Predators being a 4-1 loss in Nashville about a week ago. They have won just 4 of their past 17 games. Returning home Friday after an 0-3-2 road trip, the Ducks were blanked 3-0 by Florida for their second shutout loss of the season. Gibson has really struggled lately. He's gone 2-8-2 in his last 12 games with a save percentage of .856. Since the Predators also play LA on Tuesday, we're going to see, Sorrow's here, but I think maybe David Rich to figure in on the back-to-back there. So I'm going to take Nashville to continue Anaheim's woes by a score of 5-1.
I'm getting there.
No problem.
Danny asked you to score Colorado Edmonton. For Danny.
For Danny, let's see if he put it in here. Yeah, he wants the score, Danny, for your Colorado game.
Nooner, all good. Nashville, please, coach. Thanks, Pierre Martin.
Oh, there it is. He has 4-2 Colorado.
Pierre Martin, 4-3. 6-2, got it. 3-0, Colorado?
Yeah. No, 4-2 Colorado, 3-0 Nashville.
Okay.
And Marchand is his fantasy player.
Kelly, 27.
And Kaprizov.
Jose Coach Kenshaw, Michael, 27. And then I missed Mr. John Gregor. I miss you players. That's it. I have everybody else. John Gregor, you players, fantasy hockey. Nashville 5-1, Mr. ENORTAP.
Okay. And my total for this evening is 37.
37?
And I believe yours is 38.
No. Tonight will be 7, 14, and 9, 23, 6, 29. 29.
Okay. Maybe I didn't hang on a sec. 4, 3, 7, 8, 9, 14, 18, 20, 24, 25. No, I have 25, sorry. The 37 was from Sunday. Sorry.
25?
Yeah, 25.
Got it. All right.
Okay.
I don't know why, but I'm not starting tonight. You're the first one starting.
Because Coach has taken the lead. So I get first dibs this time. So I'm going to take Nashville. And then defense, I'm going to go with Yossi and Makar. And I'll take Marchand, McKinnon, and McDavid. I almost had the all-M team there.
Yeah, I will go with Colorado.
Okay.
McEnvoy, Taze. This was easier. Kaprizov, Forsberg, and Draisaitl.
Kaprizov, Forsberg, and Draisaitl.
Yep.
Perfect.
So that's what happening about your team. What you think we all leave an owner about that? John Gregor, can you give me your players of the night, fantasy players? John Gregor, who do you want to make the most the point? That's one thing I'm missing for tonight. The rest, I have all the score about that one over there, and that's it, Mr. ENORTAP. Before we leave, you need to drop the puck, if you don't mind.
Sure. Well, we're gonna go with for me, the game to watch tonight is the Vegas Minnesota. We're not going to obviously see any of the changes in place tonight because it's way too soon, being the eve of the trade deadline. But there are two teams that are fighting tooth and nail for playoff positions. I mean, Vegas is a little bit more desperate. Minnesota, though, wants to obviously make an impact and perhaps improve their situation. I think they're just a point behind St. Louis currently, and they have a game in hand. So these are points that they would like to bank for sure. So we'll see how this goes. It's in Minnesota. Minnesota has a good record there, so that's the reason why I chose them to win. But as we see in our predictions, on any given night, anything can go, right?
Yep, we'll see what happens tonight. I think for me it will be it's Vegas. I understand it's Colorado, but they have to show to me what they look like, because it's not an easy game. They get 2 points tonight, that'd be awesome. On my eyes, right? And then also the Edmonton, again Colorado, and Vegas against Minnesota. But those two teams fight for the playoff spot, and it will be important. Minnesota on the good right. Hopefully they continue to do it. Fleury will be at the backup, by the way, tonight. So it'll be interesting set. Otherwise, Nashville cannot drop that game against Anaheim.
Right, yeah. Yeah, that's a critical one for them.
Absolutely right about that one over there. Mr. ENORTAP, this concludes the show. I know we are a little bit caught because we have to go back right away for the Boston-Montreal, but we want to thank everybody for the pick of the selection. Thanks to join us. Don't forget, before you leave, you take the door. When you cross the door, you need to touch on the likes. You need to touch the likes. That's the only way you can turn on the door. It's an automatic door, Mr. ENORTAP. If you cannot touch on the likes, you cannot get out. So that's a new, we create this with the bouncer, Danny. Sometimes he go to the restroom, he can no time, and he go out to smoke. We lose Danny for 10, 15 minutes, and we don't know who people cross back and forth. They have to check the COVID, the card. It's just too busy. So now we have an automatic door, and the people have to click in or out with the word like. So that's happening about that one, Mr. ENORTAP. It's another story, but I'll maybe deep a little bit more. But until then,
you are awesome. You are amazing. You are the best. And remember, you have greatness inside of you.
Thank you so much, everybody, for your participation in the chat tonight. We appreciate for each one. Don't forget, we are back at 7:08 for the Montreal Canadiens. And then we are back also tomorrow at 12 o'clock for who is the winner of the trade deadline or the loser of the trade deadline. Until then, we wish you an amazing, great night, Mr. ENORTAP. Always a pleasure having you. You are amazing. Finally, everybody, have an amazing, great night. Be well, be healthy. Finally, not only dominate your day, but finally, to dominate what, Mr. ENORTAP?
Dominate your 2022.
Here we go. Have an amazing, great night, everybody. Oh, le jeune commentateur du Canadien de Montréal, j'aime bien ça, mon homme. Merci d'être arrivé ici. Great night, Stratic. José Duarte, thank you so much.
I need to open my eyes and get a touch of that reality. Don't want another surprise.